Good morning. In the previous section, we were discussing regarding the rotor design of three-phase induction motor. So mainly there are two type of rotors. One is squirrel cage rotor, and another one is the slip ring rotor. So whatever the stator we are considering, the design parameters of the stator. So like that, we need to consider different parameters. We need to do the rotor design. Do the rotor design. So in the previous section, so let us uh, see what all we have discussed in the previous section. So here are some documents. So in the previous section, we have discussed regarding the rotor design and all. And starting from the particular rotor, whether it may be squirrel cage or it may be slip ring rotor. So we need to consider different parameters. So here are the some of the points I can highlight. So here see number of slots, how the number of slots should be there, the consideration of number of slots, and then again coming to the selection of number of rotor slots. So how the selection of rotor slots should be there. So here we are considering whatever the SS and SR are there. So the SS should be more, SR should be less. This is number of stator slots, number of rotor slots. So this is the condition we need to take. Uh, Either otherwise, SS minus SR should not be equal to plus or minus 3P. So these are the various points we have seen, and copper loss in the rotor bars, then rotor bar current, cross-sectional area of the rotor bar, then shape and size of the rotor, and the end ring current, value of end ring current, then equivalent rotor resistance, and we have seen the again voltage ratio, the same as in case of transformer what we are seeing, the voltage ratio or the turns ratio. So that is here also we need to consider the same. So this is ER divided by ES. ER means the rotor voltage and this is stator voltage. So again by taking this winding factor we need to consider. So same as that of the transformer we need to consider rotor current value and then area of the rotor conductors. So these all we have discussed in the previous section. So this is the last we have discussed, that is inner diameter of the rotor. So in today's class we will discuss the performance evaluation and some examples on the rotor design. So what is performance evaluation? So based on the design data of the stator and rotor of an induction motor, performance of machine has to be evaluated. So based on the design data of the stator and rotor of induction motor, the performance of the machine has to be evaluated. So the parameters for performance evaluation are iron losses, then no load current, no load power factor, and leakage reactance, and so on. So these uh, parameters will be again calculated, and based on the value of this parameter, design values of stator and rotor can be justified. Whether the suitable design has made or not, that we can discuss or we can just estimate. So again coming to the one by one we'll discuss what is that iron loss and all. So iron losses are occurring in all the iron parts due to varying magnetic field of the machine. So iron loss has two components. One is hysteresis and eddy current, and losses are occurring in the iron parts depend upon the frequency of applied voltage. The frequency of induced voltage in rotor is equal to the slip frequency, which is very low, and hence the iron losses occurring in the rotor is negligibly small. So hence the iron losses occurring in the induction motor is mainly due to losses in the stator alone. Is mainly due to losses uh, in the stator alone. So iron losses occurring in the stator can be computed as given below. So iron losses we can calculate. So by taking these things. So again here the losses in the stator teeth. In order to have losses in the stator teeth, the following steps explain the calculation of iron loss in the stator teeth. So in this case, in order to calculate the iron loss in the stator teeth, first we need to calculate the area of cross section of stator tooth based on the width of the tooth at 1/3 height and iron length of the core as ATS dash is equal to BTS dash into Li meter square. So first, in order to have this, we need to calculate area of cross section of stator tooth based on the width of tooth at 1/3 height and iron length of the core. So this ATS dash is multiplication of BTS dash into Li. Then after we need to calculate the volume all the teeth volume all the teeth in stator, that is VTS. So VTS, once you calculate ATS, you can calculate VTS by taking ATS into HTS. Again, that is height of the stator tooth, and that is again SS. So number of stator slots. Again, compute weight of all teeth based on the volume and density of material as WTS. This weight can be calculated by taking this VTS into density. So again, corresponding to operating flux density in the stator teeth of machine, iron loss per kg of metal can be found by referring to graph on that is below. So this is then total iron loss into teeth will be iron loss per kg into weight of all teeth WTS, that is result of 3 and 4. 3 and 4. So this is we need to calculate, and then we need to go for losses in the stator core. Losses in the stator core, again similar to above calculation of iron loss in teeth, iron loss in stator core can be calculated. So again we need to calculate the area of cross section of the core, ACS, that is DCS into Li. Calculate main diameter of stator core, that is DMCS, and compute volume of stator core as VCS. Again calculate that weight WCS, and corresponding to the operating flux density in the stator core of the machine, iron loss per kg of the metal can be found. Then go for total iron loss in the core as iron loss per kg into weight of core WCS, that is result of 4 and 5. So now I can calculate total iron losses in induction motor as by taking iron loss in the stator core plus iron loss in the stator teeth. So in addition, we need to calculate the friction and windage loss just by assuming it as 1 to 2% of the output of the motor. If let us say that is 2 kilowatt is the output of the motor, so then we need to take 1 to 2% of that 2 kilowatt. That is around 10 to 20. Hence, total no load losses, that is total iron loss plus friction plus and windage losses. This is about the no load losses. Now coming to no load current. So in this case, the no load current of an induction motor has two components, as already we discussed. There is IM, magnetizing component, and another one is IC, that is iron loss component. Uh, Phase relation between these current is shown in figure. So that is already we have discussed in the discussion of no load current. So directly the formula we need to get, that is I naught is equal to under square root Im square plus I double square. So now magnetizing current we need to have the formula. This is the magnetizing current. So P is number of pair of poles, 80-30 total ampere turns of the magnetic circuit at 30 degree from the center of pole. T phase, it is number of stator turns per phase. Stator turns per phase. So now iron loss component. So this is the formula for iron loss component, that is total number of load loss divided by 3 into B phase. So this is about the no load current. Then no load power factor. This is the formula for the no load power factor. So these things can be again evaluated, and after that, after considering this, we need to correlate with the design. So this is about performance evaluation. We'll solve now. We'll see some of the examples. So on the rotor, so already I have discussed about this thing. So in this case, this example is already completed. Still we'll have something, that is during the stator design of 3-phase 30 kilowatt 400 volt 6 pole 50 hertz circular gauge induction motor, following data has been obtained. So gross length of the stator, it is 0.17 meter, internal diameter of stator 0.33 meter, number of stator slots 45, number of conductor per slot 12. Based on the above design data, design a suitable rotor. So here one thing we need to remember is, in case of squirrel cage induction motor, whatever the rotor design is there, so it is just different than the slip ring induction motor. So in this case, we are having number of rotor bars. Instead of having the 3-phase winding in the rotor, we are having the rotor bars here, rotor bars, and they are short circuited by N rings. Please remember. So now, what about the stator? Stator same as the stator. Again, the rotor we need to consider. So in the stator, again, stator is provided with a 3-phase winding. So now we have seen the diameter of the rotor. Again, length of the air gap. So LG, outer diameter dr is equal to m at 2 lg, and we got this outer diameter of the rotor. Number of rotor slots we have calculated just by considering this particular SS greater than SR, that is number of stator slots should be greater than number of rotor slots. So we need to consider this. So by considering this and all these things, we need to design suitable rotor slots. So all can be calculated.